everyone. I'm Emily.
And I'm Scar.
And welcome back to another episode of the Cottage Horse podcast, where we get whimsical, wild, and whatever else every other Wednesday. We have an exciting episode for you today, so we hope you enjoy. Hello, it's recording now.
Oh my god, that was a really slow...
It was. It disappeared too. I thought it normally did the full thing and then...
Yep. It didn't like it, but hello, we are here.
Hello. Starting off the new year strong.
Yes, welcome to January, everyone.
Welcome to the future.
Yeah, I was going to say Happy New Year, but then I was like, I guess I can still say that. I don't know when the cutoff point is where you can't say that anymore, but I'm going to assume that I can say it pretty much until I've never said it to someone else again. Never said it to... Haven't said it to someone before.
We're posting this on the 3rd, so I feel like it's still valid to say in the first 2 weeks of the new year.
Okay, well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And I hope you had a good happy holidays if you celebrate.
Indeed.
Whatever you celebrate, or just a good vibe time off work, school, whatever, Yeah, we love to see it.
We do.
We're gonna talk about 2024, which is weird.
I know. It's so funny though, because I'm sure you feel the same way now that you have a full-time job. You get at the end of the year, you get so focused on the next year that I was thinking so hard about 2024 that I was like, wait a minute, is the next year 2025? My brain had already made the switch to 24, but I knew we were still coming up to the new year, so I was like, wait, are we going into 2025? I just skipped a whole year.
It is definitely weird to have that perspective shift, because I'm going into the new year and I'm like, okay, cool, I have to think about really weird adult stuff like a credit card and really random stuff that I've never had to think before, and I'm like, oh, that's slightly strange, but here we are.
Yeah.
But it's weird as well, because it's the first time in a long time where I've gone into the new year out of education, so that's also a weird thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's my first time just being in the open world.
I know. And 2023 was big for both of us.
2023 was a big year. As I look back on it and I'm like, damn, I did a lot of stuff this year. It was a pretty wicked year.
Yeah.
So I'm very pleased.
I mean, I just had a baby.
Yeah, but that's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome. It's weird to think about this time last year, I was pregnant.
That is true. That is weird.
Yeah.
I've seen people announcing their babies for September 2024, and I'm like, no, that's too early. Go away.
I know.
I'm like, no. It's not even January. You can't have you having a baby in September. What the hell?
Right.
Go away.
Ugh.
No. Yeah, I don't like that.
Mm-mm.
But yeah,
nope.
I don't know. I've always from about 2 years ago, I transitioned out of New Year's resolutions and I started labeling years as what I wanted them to be like. Because my friend was they were New Year's resolutions are obviously important and they're good. But she said something and she was just well, unfortunately, when she first did this trend for herself, COVID hit, so it kind of went downhill. But she was like, oh, 2020 is going to be it's travel, so that is my aim, whether I travel to one new place or whatever. Obviously she didn't end up traveling anywhere, but I like that as a big overarching, here's a general vibe, and then you can have smaller little breakdowns, because then you can look back and be like, hey, I did go somewhere, so I have achieved my goal of the year. I'm like, nice.
That's fair. I do like that, actually. I'll be honest though, I have small goals I would like to achieve, but now that I have a kid, the goal is simply survival.
I feel like that's a good goal. That's also my goal. I mean my goal is also survival, preferably.
Yeah. But I think I've got this parenting thing down pretty good now. Certainly not an expert, but my daughter is almost 8 months old, which I don't want to talk about that or I'm gonna cry. But currently I feel like I have I have figured out. We have routines. We know what her needs and wants are and how she communicates them. However, starting at around 9 months, things start to like shift again because that's the age when babies start to crawl or even potentially walk if they start pulling themselves up. But she's starting to need like actual meals, which is so much work. So we're just going to get by because we will be like exiting, like she's still an infant, but we're like going to be transitioning from like baby to toddler, which is going to be wild. So you can't plan anything. You simply take it as it comes.
But I think that's also exciting as it is, because it's like, at least it provides a little bit of like spontaneity in day-to-day life. It's like, what will the child do today?
Honestly, it is fun, and I think it forces me to be more present, which I guess that would be my goal, my year. I want 2024 to be the year that I am fully present.
That's a good goal. I like that. That's cute.
Yeah.
I don't know what my goal for 2024 is. I guess just like, I don't know, find me. Maybe.
I like that too.
Just kind of like find out, because I feel like there are areas of myself that I haven't like fully explored, but also like I don't think I'm like fully know what I like in every aspect. You know what I mean? Like, I know what I like. I like reading, I like crocheting, I like video games, but I feel like there's other stuff that I haven't like given myself the potential to do because I've never had the means or opportunity to do so. And it's like, now that I have less time, but I have money, I can actually afford myself to provide myself with those experiences. So maybe experiences is the word, actually.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Just try out new things.
Yeah. I would say actually 2024 is the year of like my best self.
Oh,
That's really what my goal is, because like the little goals I do have, I want to reduce my screen time. I want to drink more water. I want to take better care of like my body. And I would like to work out more, not from an I want to lose weight standpoint, but from a my daughter is heavy, and if I carry her for more than like 5 minutes, my arms hurt.
Yeah.
So I need to get like swole so I can carry this child around.
Just get massive arms. That'd be really funny.
Honestly, you need it though. Like, we went to the store the other day, and I was like, oh, I just need to run in real quick, and like, she can sit in a cart, but putting her in a cart is a lot of work because I either use a cart cover or I like to like sanitize it down because carts are disgusting and they have a lot of germs. And I was like, I don't want to mess around with all that, but I also didn't bring her baby carrier to put her in. So I was like, whatever, I'll just carry her in my arms. It'll be fine. By the end of the trip in that store, and I think we were only in there for like 20 minutes, by the end of that store trip, my arms hurt so bad. And this child is only like, I haven't weighed her recently. Last time we did weigh her, I think she was like 16 pounds. So like, she's not even that heavy, but also like for long periods of time, that's heavy to carry around. So I need to get ripped because she's only going to get bigger.
That is true. That's always one thing that I've always thought was like crazy, is like seeing parents like carry their children, especially when their children get like to like 4 or 5 plus. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like I struggle to lift up Delilah. Like Delilah's quite heavy. Like she is quite like a chunky little dog. But I'm like, I can't even imagine trying to pick up double her weight. I'd fall over.
To be fair, a human is easier to pick up though, because like especially a kid will like wrap themselves around you, versus Delilah is like, what are you doing?
Well, she does like koala cuddle herself in, but she's obviously not as like she's obviously not as useful as a person would be.
You should get a baby carrier for Delilah.
No, I want to, because like you can get them for dogs, and she doesn't walk. Like, she does walk, but like she doesn't like walking. Especially she can't walk very far because she's only got little legs. So I think, especially when we went to Wales, she did very, very good, but she was definitely struggling at the end of some of the days of walking. She was like, I'm gonna trail really slowly. And we're going like, I think we're going to Whitby next year potentially, to see all the Dracula Viking stuff, and I'm like, well, I think Delilah's going to need some assistance because there's lots of stairs and stuff, and I feel like she's only getting older, and she'll probably be like, no, please, I don't want to walk. So get her a little carrier instead, which I love. I saw loads of people like carrying their like Dachshunds in them at the Christmas market, and I was like, try not to cry.
That's adorable. I love that.
I just saw their little heads and I was like, stop it. I'm gonna steal it from you. I need that. I need the dog and I need the carrier. Thanks.
Adorable. I love it.
Yeah. It was great. I don't know what other goals I have. I think definitely drink more water. The thing is, like, this is a really weird thing. I don't know what this is. It's probably like some undiagnosed problem. But like, I don't get, like, unless I'm like, there's sometimes in the summer where like I'm sleeping and I sleep with like a blanket and like pajamas, and then I can wake up and I feel dehydrated. Otherwise, I just don't ever feel thirsty, so I just don't drink.
No, that's fair.
So like but I know I should be drinking because like clearly I obviously need liquid, but like I otherwise only really drink at meals, and I'm like, I need to drink more. I feel like
To be fair though, you drink a lot of tea, which helps.
That is true, but I feel like I definitely don't drink enough. Full stop, but definitely not enough water. I mean, to be fair, if I have like a drink by me, I will just like drink it. So I need to like just put bottles everywhere so I just drink more.
I will say that, like, I don't know how England, like, what your recommendations for water are, because like ours has always been like 8-ounce glasses a day, which is a lot of water.
Yeah.
And like that's actually not, it's like that's such a broad recommendation. Like each person needs their own amount of water, and it's based on like your exercise levels, the weather, and like people forget, like, yes, 8, like, so that's like roughly 64 ounces of water, like, which isn't bad, but you get water from other things, so it's not like you have to drink 64 straight ounces of water, because like even if you have coffee, yes, there's caffeine, so you're getting less hydrated, but like you're still getting water from it. I should re-download it, the Water Llama app, because that allows you to log other liquids.
Oh, okay.
And it will like tell you like what the actual like hydration percentage of it is. So like you can log like coffee, and it'll be like, okay, so maybe you didn't, if you had a 12-ounce coffee, maybe only like 8 of it actually hydrated you.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Because I feel like I definitely am not hydrating myself enough, which is definitely like obviously having knock-on effects to other areas of my life I want to improve. So it's kind of
I know my life would be better if I just drank more water. I'm convinced it would solve about half of my problems.
Oh, genuinely.
And yet I don't do it because my problem is water's gross.
See, I don't mind water, to be fair. But like, I don't know. I don't know why I don't drink more of it, to be honest.
I guess
it's like not my first choice, you know?
It's just, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Like, juice, coffee, soda, fun. They taste fun.
Yeah, I'm a big juice girly.
Boring. Maybe you need to start diluting your juice like people do for children.
I do
like half juice, half water.
We do have like a lot of the juice I do drink is like squash, so like diluted.
I'm sorry, is what?
Squash.
Is that a brand, or do you mean like the plant?
No, like juice that you dilute here is called squash.
Do you not have squash like the produce?
Oh yeah. But like for example, if you like, because you can get juice, which would just be like just orange juice, which is just pure orange juice, and then you can get like squash, which would be like, I don't know, berries, and then you like would dilute it with water. I'm gonna have to show you this.
Yeah. Do you not call it like just concentrate? I mean, we would call that like a concentrate.
But we call it squash.
Why?
You know what? I've never thought to ask. It's just bottles of concentrate, double strength, single strength, whatever. It's just squash. I have no idea why it's called that.
That's weird. Yeah, we would just call that like a juice concentrate.
Yeah, which makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I just need to drink. Maybe I know people talk about air up, but then I'm also like, I don't know if that would help. But I'm also like, I don't want to invest that much in a bottle, you know?
Yeah.
Because then you have to buy the tabs. And I'm like, can I just make my own? Like those scented markers and just pretend?
No, they're actually, there's those bottles, I think they're called like Circle or something, like CIRKUL, where like, it's not flavored water, it's like a flavored tab thing. And I think there's even one that like it just smells like something, and so it like tricks you into like thinking it tastes better than it does because you can smell flavor.
That's what Air Up does. Like you attach the tab, but like you have to obviously like buy the bottle, and the bottle's like obviously fairly expensive, and then you have to buy the tabs. I'm like, I don't know how long they last for, and I'm like, I don't know if that's like an investment I can justify.
That's fair.
But I feel like that maybe would help me. But I feel like I just need. I just need like a bucket with a straw. I can just continuously sip.
Have you tried oh gosh, what are they called? They're like the kinds you can put like fruit in.
Oh yeah. That
might be.
I think I would benefit of like having like, I don't know, cucumber water or something. I don't know, just a little bit of like pizzazz.
I drink flavored water, but I know like it's obviously not as good for you because it's got like sugar and stuff. But I do have these Crystal Light fruit punch flavor packets. So sometimes if I'm like, I haven't had any water today, I like make one of those so I can like chug down 16 ounces real fast because like I will just slurp that shit up. So
I definitely have like probably about 500 ml minimum of water a day, probably.
How many ounces is that?
I have no idea. 2 glasses. So
500 ml, 2 ounces. Yeah, okay. It's about 2 cups. Okay.
Yeah. That's probably because I have like a cup before bed because I take my medicine. I always have a cup of water before bed. And then throughout the day, I probably sip about 250 ml.
This is 28 ounces or 828 ml.
I have no idea what this holds.
But I sometimes don't even drink one of these a day.
No, genuinely, like that. So I have had this much today, and it is almost 8 p.m. It's almost 8 p.m. and this is how much I've had.
It's only like a little bit before 1 for me, so I'm doing better. But I've had a coffee.
Yeah, I've had 2 cups of tea and I've had some juice. See,
doing okay. Also, when I was talking about juice, I didn't mean using like concentrate. I mean like people, because you're not supposed to give kids straight juice. It's way too much sugar for them. So they'll take just like regular juice from a bottle and then dilute that.
Oh. Yeah. I think I just need to like get a massive bottle.
I tried that. It did not help.
Yeah, but then at least I can carry it and I don't have to refill it. Because that's also a problem is like, I'll have a bottle, like at university I used to have a bottle and I would like drink it all and then I would just never refill it and I'd be like, well, that's pointless.
I did get one of those gallon water bottles though. I tried that trend.
But then it's also heavy as well.
Yeah. They get big. Well, and also it's like eventually it gets warm.
Yeah, that's not nice either. Because like I have this bottle which I don't take out. This is like my home bottle that I have. But then I have like one of those like metal ones, which obviously like keeps it cooler, which is like nice. But again, like it only holds probably about 750 ml.
Yeah.
So it's like it's fine, but like once I drink it, I probably won't refill it because I'm lazy.
No, that's
and
fair.
I'm like, but yeah, I just need to get into that habit more.
Yeah.
I've said that like every year for the past like 4 years.
We can challenge ourselves though. Like we'll hold each other accountable. Yeah. I'll message you periodically. How much water have you had today?
Yeah, I think an app would help if an app was like screaming at me that like my plant was gonna die if I didn't drink water, and I'd be like, no.
No, see, I tried the plant nanny one, and I would just lie to save my plants.
Okay, I didn't factor that in actually.
I got too emotional about my digital plants. However, I liked Water Llama, if that one's available.
I'll have to find out.
Because you can pick different animals, and then like it like fills them up throughout the day, and if you meet your goal, it like colors them in.
Okay, that's cute. I'm just searching now.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think I do.
Oh.
R.I.P.
That's distressing.
That is really sad. Well, there's like loads of water apps.
Oh yeah, you can get a million.
Oh my god. Some of them are silent at night. Just silence it for the whole day. Pretend. Well, oh well. Yeah, I don't know, like, other goals, just be kinder to myself.
I like that.
Yeah. Because I feel like I do this all the time where, like, I saw people talking about this on TikTok and it was like, they were sharing photos of, like, times they were happy, like, this year. And, like, they were like, oh, there's actually so many more photos than I thought. And it's like, actually, you look back on photos and you're thinking, wow, I was so hard on myself at the time. But actually, like, this is a really nice photo. And I was like enjoying my time here, but like at the time you're like, oh my god, this is like awful. And it's like, no, it's stupid. It's like, no, just treat yourself with grace kind of thing. I have gotten better at that, but it's like, definitely there are times and I'm like, you're being a silly sausage.
No, I totally get that.
And I'm like, we don't need that. We don't need that energy in the studio.
No.
More to yourself and more to other people.
Yes.
Yes.
Because it's like, I never look at pictures of other people and be like,
no, exactly.
Oh my god, that looks terrible. But like, if I were to take that exact photo, I'd be like, I look disgusting.
That's the thing, it's like...
Obviously, objectively, I don't think that's disgusting.
Yeah. But it's also like, I saw this thing and it was like, well, also like my therapist said this to me and was like, you have to remember like, especially like, when you look at other photos as well, but like, as well, like, part of you, for a very long time, like, even when you like get older and you grow out of it, you're still talking to like your younger self, and it's like you would never say that to your younger self. You would never treat your younger self that way. You would never like isolate yourself like that. You would never deprive yourself of X, Y, and Z. Like, if you're going to be kind to adult you, at least be kind to younger you. And it's like, that's a really nice, like, obviously you can't do that all the time, but like sometimes in times of hardship, treating yourself as you would treat your younger self is quite like a refreshing way, because sometimes you can be like, you know what, I am just gonna build a blanket for and hang out.
Yeah, no. I think also, like, for me, like, you know, I have a daughter and I would never want her to like think about herself or to treat herself the way I treat myself. So it's like trying to reframe my own mind and like be kinder to myself to teach her to be kind to herself.
I think that's a big thing. It's like actually reflecting on the fact that how you talk about yourself impacts how other people talk about themselves as well. And it's like, actually, I would never want the people around me, if I'm like I've tried to reframe how I talk about myself around my friends, because like obviously I look different to all my friends. That's like kind of part of the fun. Everyone is so individual in their own way, and it's like I would never be like, I never want them to, because they look different to me, because I don't look the way I want, make them feel like bad. And like, especially when it comes to like weight and stuff like that, it's like, no, because you're just a slippery slope and everyone ends up unhappy, and it's like, we don't need that. We don't need that for anyone. It's all good.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't like it. Also, I keep looking off to the side because there's this ladybug and it's slowly rolling down my blanket, and I'm like, where are you going? He's like currently upside down. I'm like a bit concerned for him. I think Delilah brought him in from the garden. He's stuck in now.
That's fine. I'm slightly distracted because I can hear my child crying out there.
Oh my god, the ladybug and the baby are interconnected. Oh, she's having a time.
Can you hear?
I mean, it's not like you don't feed your child. I didn't mean it like that, but...
Yeah, no, we do feed her, I promise. She's not starving.
No, she's good. She's the cult leader. She's thriving.
She's also just, like, so unpredictable. Like, sometimes she will go 4 to 5 hours without being hungry, and then other times it's, like, 2 hours, and she's like, if you do not feed me now, I will burn this place to the ground. And it's like...
It's like, why? Where did this come from? Yeah, babies do be crazy like that. And I'm like, you know, I'm personally glad at this moment in time I do not have to take care of one.
That's fair.
I don't have the energy for that. I can better take care of myself. And I'm like...
Mood.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? Credit to everyone who has a child.
Parenting is hard. And I feel like a lot of people, like, don't realize that before they decide to have a kid.
No, yeah, fully. Like, I think that's one of the things that's like, I don't know, like, I've always been very indifferent towards children. Like, if I have a partner and they don't want kids, it wouldn't impact me personally. Like, it's never been like a life goal for me, but like, it's something that I would consider and potentially would want in the future if it came down to it. But like, it's not like a deal breaker for me. But it's like one of those things where it's like I need to be very secure, and that is obviously really hard to do because I'm like, like I'm very like anxious and nervous, and I'm like, if I need everything to be like prepared, brought. I'd need like, and I'm like, no.
It's hard because you also, there's no time off. Like, you are a parent 24/7.
Well, it's a second job. Like,
yeah.
So it's like,
it's a very demanding job as well.
It's a very big
boss
commitment.
who micromanages me and is never happy. No, actually, my kid's very happy most of the time.
I was gonna say, like, she's pretty. She just kind of vibes.
Yeah. All things considered, she's a very chill and content baby, despite current circumstances.
They will have
she gets mad when she's hungry and when she's tired, and
but so does
that's really about it.
But then, me too. Like, I don't
honestly
cry
same.
because it's not acceptable, but like, I don't scream and cry, but like, if it was acceptable, I probably would on occasions, but I feel the same way. Yeah. So, I get it.
No, it's very valid. Her feelings are completely valid.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes, like, if I had a kid and they would, like, cry because they were, like, tired and hungry, I would just cry because I'm tired and hungry. It's like, this is a bonding experience for us now.
I will say sometimes, though, like, when she gets overtired and she starts crying, I'm like, just close your eyes and go to sleep.
I know. Why?
But, like, babies don't get that. Yeah. They don't make that connection. And so instead she cries that she's tired. And I'm like, no, just go to sleep. This will solve all your problems.
I know. That is one of the funniest things. It's like, especially when you're a kid and you want to stay up past your bedtime, and then you hit an age where you're like, I need to be in bed, like, earlier because you're so tired. And it's like, wow, that's a really sad transitional period that we go through.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, obviously when y'all are listening to this, New Year's Eve has already passed. When we're recording this, it has not happened. I'm not seeing midnight this year.
Oh no, I haven't for the past like 4 years.
I have for the most part. I think the last couple of years though, it's like, yay, midnight, immediately go to sleep. But my husband actually works New Year's Day, and he has to be to work at 6 a.m. and it's a 45-minute drive for him. So he gets up at like 3:30, 4 o'clock. So we are not seeing midnight. Unless the only way I'm seeing midnight is if my baby wakes up. Yeah. And I'm hoping she doesn't. So
yeah, I think the last time I stayed up for New Year's was probably during university at some point, because we had like a New Year's Eve party. But otherwise, like, if I'm at home, I'm going to bed. Well, like, usually I am awake for midnight, but like I'm in bed and I'm not like in the celebrations, if that makes sense. Like, I probably am awake past midnight on like a few of those occasions, but I'm like, nah, it's not for me. I don't like.
I did like going out to the bars one year for New Year's Eve. It was a lot.
It's intense. We just had like a house party one year, and even that was intense because it's kind of like, because normally like you have a party and it's like, obviously you probably stay until like post midnight anyway, which is fine. But like for some reason on New Year's Eve, it's like worse because you know people can't leave until after midnight, so you're constantly like, well, no one's leaving early. The earliest they'll leave is like 5 past midnight, so you're just kind of there being like, yeah.
Well, and it's like, we our friends hosted a party a couple of years ago and we went, but it's like, even if your party starts at 8, midnight is still 4 hours away. So like, that is so long to party. But like, you're not going to start a party at 10 p.m. either. Like, that would be silly. So it's like, you have to start at like 7, 8 o'clock, and then like after a couple hours, people are like, "What do you do now?"
Anyway, dipping. Yeah, we're struggling. And it's like, so we just played like, I think we just played like chess. I don't even know. We were like, it was really random. Like, we had like chess and checkers, and we were just like playing like random board games because we were just like, could not carry on like drinking. We were deceased at that point, and I was like, nah.
Yeah, the friends who threw the party a couple years ago, like they're like other friends that were also invited, are also like just like very big like game people. So like they like to play a lot of games, and like it's kind of not optional to participate.
Oh, that's a bit strange.
Yeah, like it is, but also it's kind of like, it's such a group thing that like if you don't participate, you're like really left out. And so like that gets really exhausting too. It's like, it's a lot of games like Cards Against Humanity, like type stuff. Like not that specific one, but like similar ones. And it's just like, but I don't want it. And like one game is fine, but they'll want to play like 2 or 3. And it's like, I'm exhausted mentally.
Yeah, I think
like that's a lot of socializing too.
It is. I think finally, like, especially like our generation and like younger, I finally realized like, hey, some people just don't and cannot be switched on for that long, and like just if they say they can't, they can't. Like, it's quite cool. Like literally, like on Christmas Day, like after we had like Christmas lunch, I was like to my family, I was like, I need to go like upstairs and just like be alone. Because I was like, I'm really, like, I wasn't even tired, but, like, I was just tired because I was drained, because it was a very, like, high intense 48 hours. And I was like, I just need to be alone for some time.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, that's fine. Just come down when you're ready. And that was like, that was chill. And it's like, just it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not used to it as well, because it's like, it feels like an act. It's like, I'm not acting. It's not a performance, but I am like elevating myself because I don't know. I can't provide that much energy usually.
No, at our Christmas party, there were some people still just hanging around at like 11, and finally I was like, listen, I love y'all, but please leave.
Please go home. No, that's the thing, like, I am so like, I think it's a British thing as well, but like there is something about overstaying your welcome where it's like, anytime I'm at someone else's like place, as soon as I sense, like, I have like this spidey sense when people are like ready, and I'm like, I'm going, you do the like the thigh slap, and you're like, right, I'm off, like, got a dash, got to pick up the milk from Tesco, and I'm like, gone. I'm like, I cannot. It makes me so uncomfortable for someone else to be uncomfortable that I'm there, and I'm like, leave.
I'm on like the opposite end of that, where we live in the Midwest and goodbyes take an hour.
I mean, to be fair, goodbyes can take a long time, but
like you do the thigh slap, and then it's like, okay, so then you stand up, but then you start talking about something, and then you move to the door, and then you start talking about something, and then like one of you was outside the door and one of you was inside the door, and you're talking about something, and then you're at your car and they're still talking to you from the door, and it's like, let me go. Like, my God, my father-in-law, we were at a wedding one time, and he was drunk, and we were ready to go, and he had to say goodbye, I swear, to every single person at that wedding before we could leave. And like, we kept like walking, and then like he would find somebody else to talk to, and it got to the point we finally made it outside the venue, and we're halfway across the parking lot, and we're like, wait, where the fuck is he? He's at the door still talking to someone, and we're like, let's go.
It's definitely like an older generation thing, because like, yeah, like trying to like leave my grandparents' house, I'm like, it's like, listen, love, blessed, great time, but if we get like, we're like, okay, we'll be around at 12, and it's like, okay, we want to leave by 2, but we actually need to be leaving by like 12:30 in order to get out the door by 2. It's like a very like scheduled thing, and it's very funny.
That's exactly what it's like trying to leave Kyle's grandparents' place. It's like, because like I was actually texting my brother-in-law's girlfriend, because we did not have any other plans on Christmas Eve, but they were going to see her family. And we were trying to coordinate because my husband had to work on Christmas Eve, and so like we couldn't be there until like 4-ish. And her other plans were like 40 minutes away, and so she was trying to figure out like, okay, like doing presents, doing dinner, like what time do we need to leave by in order to get to this other thing, because last year when they left, they like barely saw her family before they left. So like, you know, she was just trying to coordinate that, and we were both talking about how like that family just likes to talk, because it's like, you like, I will look at Kyle and be like, okay, let's go, like you give the signal, and then he starts a story, and I'm like, that's the opposite of what I'm trying to do.
Oh, there's always one. There's always usually more than one, but there's definitely always one person who just like cannot depart, and I'm like, please, you need to go home.
It's like, you know, I understand wanting to spend time with family and everything, but especially now that we have a kid, because like last night we went to my dad and my stepmom's, and it was about 6:00, and her bedtime is 7, and it was half an hour drive. And I was like, okay, like we should probably get going because like she's gonna get cranky. And my dad was like, oh, but Grandma hasn't even gotten to hold her yet. And I was like, we've been here for a couple of hours. Grandma could have held her at any time, but okay. So like I hand her over, and then we sit there and talk for another 30 minutes. If I was like, okay, like we really got to get going. And then of course my child screamed halfway on the drive home before passing out from exhaustion. And I was like, this is what I was trying to avoid.
It's like a Sims baby where it's like you're halfway up the stairs to go feed it and it sleeps again. And I'm like, bitch, I was coming. I'm like, I was coming. I'm like, stop. Yeah, no, it is. Holiday season is rough for people who don't have social energy.
It's hard. It's also like, at least for me, like I see people that I don't see often. So it's like, I don't even know what to talk about. Like we cycle through the main topics of how's school or how's work or, you know, how's so-and-so. And then it's like, okay, we've circled through all of like the basic topics.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't really see like, aside from my mum's side of the family, which is very, very small, it's basically just her sister and her kids. Like my dad's side of the family is really big, so we don't see them because we all kind of live all over the place. but the person I see the most is his mum, my grandma. But like I basically only see her at Christmas because she comes around for Christmas. So like she gives us the gossip, so she gives us the tea on all the other grandchildren. It's so funny. She's like, because it's like she's like telling us all this stuff. I'm like, oh my god, like, but this is like 7-month-old news that I haven't heard until now. So I'm like, right. Delay. And I'm like, damn. But it's like I'm invested. I'm like, this is crazy. And they like grandparents do come out with like the wildest stories. I'm like, what was this? I'm like, yeah. Excuse me. I know. Like, I was like trying to do a puzzle, and she was like talking about stuff, and I was like, I know, like now I'm an adult, but it feels like I shouldn't be hearing this information. I'm like,
even just last night, my stepmom was like talking about like my stepsister and stuff, and I was just like, I feel like I shouldn't know this information, especially because I don't really see my stepsister. Like, we are not close at all. I see her maybe once a year.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I feel like I shouldn't know this information.
No, that's what I was like. I was just there doing a puzzle, and I was like, should I leave? Like, should I go somewhere else? I was like, okay, just do away.
Right.
But I kind of love that. Like, that's, I think, one of the things is like being a grandparent is you just get to say like insane shit, and people can't be like, shut up, because we're
It's always so funny when we go to Kyle's grandparents, because like his grandma will just not like gossip, but just like will bring up the most random people from church. Be like, oh, did you see so and so like had this happen? And it's like, no, how did you?
No, it's so funny because it is because she was like talking, and she was like she goes like to bingo, and she has like her friends, and they went on like a trip. I can't remember where they went. I think they went to Scarborough, like on a coach trip, because like here in the UK you get like a bus pass when you hit a certain age. I think it's like 65. You get a bus pass. You can get on all the buses for free, which is like a slate. So excited for that. One of the trifectas of old age that I'm so excited for is that. I want one of those like little suitcasey trolley things you can put all your shopping in. Love it. I think honestly younger people should be able to use it, but like there's a stigma, and I think that's stupid because they're so convenient. And having a stair chair. Those are that's the triangle of what I'm looking forward to in my old age. But yeah, and like she was like saying, she was like, oh yeah, like my neighbour's like grandson's dog's sister, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know who this is. Like, so what you're telling me is so irrelevant, but I'm also like, but now I need to know the conclusion of the story, because it's always like the most wild thing. It's like, yeah, he got like a yacht, and then like his yacht crashed, and I'm like, what? Like, what is happening? And it's just like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always like,
or it's like with Kyle and his brother, it's like, oh well, like, you know, they met you when you were 6 months old. You don't remember them?
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, I don't recall. Thank you, though. I know. I'm like, or it's like, oh, like yeah, it's like down this road, and I'm like, I don't know where that is. Why do you think I know where this route is? I don't.
Why? Like, I know the answer is we have GPS now, but like, why are they all so like good at directions? Like, Kyle's dad will constantly be like, oh yeah, like you just hop on this road and you go northwest for like 6 miles and then take a left, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, genuinely. Yeah, like my dad does that too. He's like, oh yeah, it's just like, just round this roundabout, like you've been past there before. And I'm like, I've been past a lot of places. I don't recall. Like, if I don't remember, I don't remember. Like,
I saw this TikTok of like a boomer trying to give directions, and like he was being like, okay, so first you start off on this street, and then this street, and then you turn on this street. And like the other person was like, if I don't live on the street, I have no concept. Like, I've lived in this town my entire life, and I cannot tell you street names. And I'm like, yes, I know like the major ones.
Yeah,
but like I know the street behind us. I cannot tell you the street that goes the other way. And we've lived in this house for like 5 years, but I cannot tell you the street that runs over there.
Well, it's also
and in fact, sometimes depending on where we're going, like it'll be like, oh, turn left on this one, and I'm like, wait, is that this street or is that the other one? Like, I don't know which one to go to.
Well, it's also the thing as well. Like, I don't know if you have it like in America, but like here, like I live on one road, and then like. But like directly behind us is another road, but it's actually part of our road because we have the same postcode. But then the road name changes halfway round, but like it's one road, but halfway on the road it just changes name.
Yeah, we have.
So we have a lot of that. So we have like actually like a lot of roads that are like B roads that are like 4 different names for the same stretch of road, and it's like just don't need to know. Like, I have devices that can tell me. I have a map in my car, so if God forbidden, like, worst comes to worst, I can read a map. But then a map has the information there for me anyway, so I'm okay.
I can't read a map to save my life. I can't even, like, read. I'm so terrible. Like, we'll be in, like, a zoo or something. And, you know, like, the map in the zoo to tell you the different, like, animal inhabitants.
Oh,
I
dear.
cannot. I will get turned around so fast.
To be fair, I will say, like, here, I guess it's just the nature of, like, England as a whole, but, like, there's an award that you can do called the Duke of Edinburgh Award, which is, like, it's, like, bronze, silver, gold, and, like, if you get gold, you get to meet, like, who is it now?
The Duke
Prince
of Edinburgh?
Charles? Yeah, but I don't know who the Duke of Edinburgh is now. I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
Oh.
You have to meet a royal. Who cares? I don't care. But basically,
I now want to look up who the Duke of Edinburgh is while you tell this.
Oh, I don't know, but no. I should know. I think it's Charles now. Or is it William? Oh, no one gives a shit. But you get to meet them and they shake your hand. But anyway, like, the bronze one is very encouraged for everyone to do at secondary school, and it entails you doing some volunteering work, and then basically you will do a hike, and the hike is like a 3-day hike. So you have to learn. So you get put in a group, and then you have to navigate your route. You get given like a point, a checkpoint, and then the B point, and you have to navigate and make your route, and then you have to have all your equipment, and you hike for 3 days. And it teaches you, like, orienteering and, like, survival skills and stuff like that, and it's, like, very encouraged for people to do. So, like, I think a lot of kids here know how to read maps and, like, do that kind of stuff through that process, which is pretty cool.
While that is a great skill, that also sounds absolutely horrible.
I got chased by cows. I mean, it's quite traumatic.
What is it with you and animals?
I don't know. It's farm animals, though. It's not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Also, yeah, I mean, if you're curious, Prince Edward is the current Duke of Edinburgh.
Oh, okay. Sorry, the irrelevant part of the royal family. But yeah, there was, like, we went through a field to, like, get to the next road bit instead of walking along a main road, obviously. So we went through this field, and there were cows, and, like, cows can be quite hostile, especially if they're in the wild, because they're, like, very protective over their, like, pasture and their grass, which, you know, valid. We were fine. We were walking, but there was a group behind us who were just, like, shouting and screaming, and the cows were not impressed. And they weren't, like, running at us, but, like, they were going towards the gate so that we had to, like, then navigate around a herd of cows. And I was like, I swear to God, if I get beaten up by a cow, we're gonna have issues. But it was fine in the end.
I would just like to ask a clarifying question. When you say in the wild, do you mean, like, just in their pasture on a farm?
Well, it was like, so they weren't, yes, but they weren't in a farm, like, so it was like a field, and there is a farm there, but, like, they weren't penned off. They were basically just in a public area, if that makes sense.
But, like, somebody owns
Yeah, someone owns them. Yeah, someone.
Okay. I thought you were telling me that you just have wild cows in the countryside?
Well, yeah. In they are still looked after, but, like, in areas like the Lake District, there are just wild horses and wild cows that are just kind of around, and they're, like, looked after, but, like, they don't have a farm. They just kind of vibe. Same with, like, sheep and stuff. Yeah, they just kind of vibe. They kind of hang out. It is very strange.
As someone who lives in the dairy state, I can't quite comprehend that.
No, it is a really weird thing. Like, usually they're, like, connected to, like, where a farmyard would be, but, like, especially, like, in the Lake District and, like, other national park areas, there are usually wild cattle and, like, horses, and they just kind of, they're obviously taken care of by the people who, like, the National Trust is, like, protected park areas, like, I guess Yellowstone for you, where it's, like, national areas. So, like, they're protected and they're, like, looked after, but, like, they're not part of a farm. They just kind of hang out. Yeah. It's very strange.
That is wild.
Yeah, so they I guess you wouldn't have seen these, but there's always, like, loads of adverts and memes in Wales, especially because they have, like, loads of sheep everywhere, but also not only because they're sheep farmers, but because the sheep just kind of are in the road sometimes. Same with cows. Like, sometimes you have cows in the road, and it's like, kind of got to get out of the way, bestie. Like, places to be.
I was driving the other day, and I live in a city. You know, it's not like a big city like London or Chicago or anything. It's, you know, small town, but, like, there's still, like, traffic lights and,
Yeah.
you know, fast roads, that kind of thing. But I was coming home one day, and there were just, like, 12 turkeys in somebody's yard. And it's like, it was, like, on, like, a main road. Like, not even, like, if a turkey walked through my yard, would be weird, but not super random, because, like, my area is, like, a little bit more secluded.
Yeah.
This was on, like, a main, like, not a highway, but, you know, like,
yeah,
still, like, the speed limit is, like, 40, so, you know, it's fast. And there were just, like, 12 turkeys in this person's yard, and I was like,
oh,
where are you going? My mom actually got hit by a deer in the most, like,
that happened to my mom as well.
But it was at, like, a very central intersection in town where, like, there's not woods really nearby.
Yeah.
So it's like, where was this deer coming from? And where was it going?
Yeah, that's
we had
a
a pheasant in our yard one day.
Oh, we've had, yeah, that's
Granted, we have a pheasant farm nearby.
Yeah, but still.
So, not super random, but yeah, there was a pheasant in our yard.
Yeah,
I still want to know where the woodchuck came from, though.
A woodchuck?
We had a woodchuck die in our shed.
That's sad.
I've told you this. It was when Mooney was here.
What is a woodchuck?
Am How much wood the woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
A bird?
No, it's like a... Google it.
Because, like, we probably do have them, but, like, I don't know. I've only just heard that song. I'm like, I don't even know. I didn't even realise it was a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was a groundhog. Okay.
No.
Well, it says also known as a woodchuck.
Oh, it is.
According to Google. That. Probably the part of the same, like, family. Huh.
I thought they were different animals. Anyway, yeah, one of them died in our shed.
Oh.
It was an experience.
That is an experience. I'm sad.
Especially because our yard is fenced.
They were coming to eat the shed.
Well, the shed is gone now, so...
Well, they did it. It was the woodchuck from the grave. See, mission accomplished. It just, like, possessed you with the thought the shed needs to go, and you did it. So it
the shed definitely needed to go. Thankfully, we didn't use the shed anyway.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
But it did it on purpose. It knew, so it gave you a reason. See, it's all part of the plan.
Yeah, but no, it was the week Mooney was here.
Oh yes, I do remember. See, I don't know why. Like, I did know this, but then I was also like, do I even know what a woodchuck was? And then I was like, I know you had told me this because I know something died, and I was like, it could be anything. You've told me a lot of stuff, and I'm like, not that I don't remember, but it's also like, wires crossed, and I'm stupid.
Sadly, we've actually had a lot of things die in our backyard.
I was going to say, I swear something else died.
We've had baby robins, unfortunately.
That wasn't what I was thinking
One time, Kyle had his bachelor party in our backyard because it was during COVID, so they like did like an outdoor thing. And we had a projector. They like set up a projector and played video games in the backyard. And a falcon or a hawk, I don't remember which one. I think we have falcons. Dropped a bunny in our yard.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would never got
I tried to rescue a mole once. Unfortunately, it did not make it.
Oh,
it got trapped. Like, we need to get covers for our basement windows, but like, the basement windows, because it's obviously below ground, they have like little semicircle things so you can like see out the window, but it's deep in the ground. And a mole got trapped. And we saved it, but it didn't make it after that.
That's very sad. I don't know how we got here from New Year's resolutions.
I don't know either. Welcome to the Cottage Chores podcast, where anything can happen.
Well, the resolution is to save animals and hopefully no more die in your back garden.
The robins were very stressful because it was 2 different nests.
Yeah, our bird nest thing feeder that we have in our tree, like the other day, just dive bombed out of the tree because the wind blew it and it just smashed everywhere. And I was like, good thing there weren't any birds in there. But because we did have baby birds, but obviously they've now like moved away. And I was like, yikes! But it was just like on the floor.
We had to rescue a hummingbird from our pergola.
Oh,
because it's got a roof to it, and it was like it's clear, so it was trying to like fly up, but it couldn't obviously. And so we had someone here dropping something off, and they like used their hat, but then it was getting really stressed out, obviously, because it was like trying to be free, and we're like, we're trying to help you.
It's just like, I need to go home. Please.
Yeah. But we do have a lot of trees in our rec. We have a lot of wildlife, so unfortunately there's a lot of circle of life happening.
Yeah, I mean, where I live is pretty much like very rural, so like there's deer. Like there's like just deer hanging out in front of my house a lot of the time. And I'm just like, hi, besties.
I would love deer, honestly, but our yard is fenced. But I'd be fine with if we had deer. We have bunnies a lot, baby bunnies.
Yeah, we have like hedgehogs
pretty much
and stuff.
every spring some ducks walk through our front yard.
Yeah, love that.
Don't know where they're coming from, where they're going.
Just come to visit.
Lots of squirrels.
Yeah.
Lots of birds. Surprisingly, no raccoons.
I have never seen a raccoon before.
You've never seen? Do they not have? Wait,
no, they do. They exist.
In
They exist.
Oh, okay.
I just don't think they're very like. I think like the biggest like rodent we have here, like in terms of like pest, would be foxes. We have a lot of foxes. I think they just dominate. Foxes. I think they just dominate over like other rodents. So like, yeah, I know Scotland have a lot of raccoons. I don't know why I know that. I just because they have like them in their zoos, and I'm like, why is there a raccoon in a zoo? But
that's wild.
I know. I thought that was wild too. Yeah, we have a lot of foxes, and we have a lot of deers, and we have a lot of hedgehogs.
In the wild?
Yeah.
Are hedgehogs a wild animal?
Well, they just
hang out in the woods. What a hedgehog is?
We had hedgehogs stuck under our decking one year. We could like hear them scratching away, and there was like a family under there. They were like buried under there. And we were like, you have to get out. It's not safe for you to be there. But yeah, they just kind of hang out.
Okay, so I just googled a hedgehog to make sure I knew what it was, which I do. And so, like, you know, when you Google something, it just gives you, like, the basic information. But then it says, 3D, meet a life-size European hedgehog?
Yes, I do.
What is this?
I do need a life-size European hedgehog. This is oh my god! Okay, new mascot. New mascot has emerged. European hedgehog. What the hell?
I don't know. I think people have hedgehogs as pets here.
Yeah. It's like I remember my school, like my primary school, we had like a little allotment area, and then we made like a hedgehog house thing, like in this like fenced area. We made like a home for them and put loads of like toilet paper and bits and pieces in there so they can make a nest.
4 days ago, an article reported they're furry, they're cute, they're 5 new species of hedgehogs. Smithsonian scientists confirmed. I don't know what that is, but that's not a hedgehog.
What the fuck?
But apparently it is.
It's part of the family.
Yeah, that's wild.
Huh.
Alright, anyway.
Weird.
I love foxes, though. I've seen foxes, like, twice. But if I could have any, like, exotic pet, I would want either a fox or an otter.
It's funny when you say that a fox is exotic, because they just literally, like, I see them probably, like, every day.
No, I don't mean, like, exotic like that. I mean, like, something not meant to be a pet.
Right, I see. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I was like, why is this
non-domesticated animal. How about that? Is that better?
What would I have as a
And I know some people do have foxes as pets, but, like, you have to have a lot of, like, regulations. I'm just glad I don't live in an area where, like, you regularly see, like, cougars and bobcats roaming the neighborhood.
That would be scary.
We have had, like, there have been sightings of them in my state, but, like, it's not common. And it's, like, I've seen videos of people get, like, chased up to their door by, like, cougars and stuff. And I'm like, no.
You know what? I think I'd have a beaver.
A beaver? That's a good choice, except it would eat your house.
I know, but I just think there'd be such a like. Imagine being like, "Come see my pet." It's a beaver. Like no, yeah. You would keep everyone guessing with that, and I think that's really fun. Like he can have his own little house. Like I can make him a little granny flat in the garden, and they can vibe.
Yeah, I want a fox or an otter. Like I would love to have a little pond in the backyard, and just have a little river otter chilling back there.
But you need like 2 because they hold hands, don't they?
Yeah,
so they don't drift away. Yeah, otters are very cute. Although they smell like wet dog, and I'm like. That's disgusting.
Do they?
Yeah. It's quite bad because I remember like I went to I don't know where I was. I think it was in Australia. Like it was the first time I'd ever seen like otters properly in a zoo because I don't really go to zoos. But this was like a conservation park and they had otters there and like oh my lord, I was like this is an intense smell.
That would ruin it for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Because obviously they have fur and they just kind of chill in the water, so it's just like not I mean, obviously, if you wash
Makes
them, I guess it
sense.
probably wouldn't smell that bad. And if you had like water that was like cleaned regularly, it probably wouldn't be as bad because this is obviously just like they were just in a river.
Right.
But I was like, damn, it wasn't very nice. Or actually,
Well,
no, I had a
regardless.
shark, like Vector, in
Fair.
Despicable Me, on my floor.
My goal though is to like meet an otter. Like I want to like hold its little hand.
Yeah. I was like, meet an
So
otter, like,
badly.
in
You
what
have
way?
no idea. No, because like there are certain places that you can like swim with otters, and like some aquariums, like they do have little holes where they can stick their little hands out and you can touch their paws. Like I want to snuggle an otter so badly.
There was like when I was in Wales, I fed an alpaca, and it was like the greatest moment in my life.
I've had a giraffe at the zoo.
That's cool. I love giraffes.
Giraffes are fun.
Penguins are my favorite animal though, from the zoo.
I'm pretty sure they were also Moonies, and they were not at the zoo when we took Mooney to the zoo, and they were pissed.
That's so sad. No, it's because basically I love them. Them and meerkats. I don't know, like they just have immaculate vibes.
Great.
They have immaculate vibes. But at Edinburgh Zoo, there is a job called penguin picker upper because the planes fly over the zoo and it scares the penguins and they fall over, so someone has to go and pick them back up. And I want to do that.
I love that. You know what else I would love to have as a pet? A fainting goat.
No, stop. Goats are so funny. Goats are so unhinged, and they have no
Listen,
right.
I have beef with goats.
What's your beef with goats? Solve this in 2024.
I grew up with goats.
Oh, okay.
No, I grew up with goats, and they're just assholes.
Yeah, I mean, they are quite intense. Like, but I'm
they
also like...
They headbutt you, and they eat everything.
I feel like
my
that
grandma
applies
had a particularly... True. My grandma, though, had a particularly asshole goat, and her name was Dolly. And... she didn't like anybody, and like literally like she would charge at you. Like you would just be minding your own business and you'd get fucking ran down by this goat.
Maybe for 2024 you need to talk this out with goats and heal from your past trauma.
It is very funny though, because like so I grew up doing 4-H. So I like did a lot of farm stuff. And I showed horses, and I'd go to the fair, and it'd be like, oh, you can milk this goat for $1, and I'd be like, I have to milk goats at home as a chore. Why would I pay $1?
Yeah, it is very trivial, isn't it? Like the farm lifestyle, where it's like people like pay for like experiences like that. Like I remember when I was like on a French trip in like year 9, and we went to like this farm, and they like make goat's cheese there, and there was a goat there, and we could milk the goat, and I was like, I don't really want to milk the goat personally, but like everyone was doing it and had their photos taken milking the goat, and I was like, this is a very strange time. Like now I look back on it, I'm like, this is a very strange experience for everyone.
Yeah, we had a field trip when I was young to like a farm, and I think you can milk the cows.
That makes me
I think that's also
freak out a little bit.
Different though.
I don't know. There's something about like this is gonna sound really vulgar and explicit. I don't mean it to, but there's something really off-putting about touching an udder that I just don't want to be involved in. I don't know what it is. It just feels wrong. It just like in my head, I just could not.
You shouldn't touch that area. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it isn't even that. I just feel like it would feel weird, and I just don't want to do that.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, no,
it's very warm.
Oh, ew, that's even worse.
Yeah, because there's milk in there, so it's warm. It's like, I mean, your boobs are warm.
Yeah, I guess so. There's just something about it, and I'm like, this is not for me, you know?
That's fair.
Well, I'd like I feel like living on a farm would be like kind of a vibe, but also I'm like, I'm not cut out for that lifestyle because I could not milk a cow.
I know. My sister was wanting to talk about like growing up, and she wants a farm, and I'm like, you do realize that like being a parent, farms are like a full-time job. Like
insane.
You have to get up early, you have to like do chores twice a day.
Yeah, my friend grew up on a farm, and she was like really grateful for it as like a kid, but she's also like, it was like something that like she was like, I would never. She was like, her parents were like, oh, you can never inherit the farm, and she was like, sell it. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
she was like, I'm not cut out for that.
My sister was like, but then I could pet animals, and I was like, I think you need to live next to a farm and make friends with your neighbors. She's like, that's a better idea.
That's a better idea, yeah. Yeah. That is quite funny though. I feel like that's what most people want a farm for, is just for the animals. And it's like, well, actually, you got to be up at 6 a.m. for like eggs and the milking and the brushing and the
highland
washing.
cow though.
Yes,
love those.
Well, come to Scotland, and there's a thing in Scotland. I don't know where it is. I think it's somewhere like, I think it's probably in most places in Scotland, but you can go on a picnic with highland cows.
Scotland is on my bucket list. It's really is.
Stunning. It is gorgeous there. I
actually saw a TikTok that was like, if you're seeing this, you're going to go to this place in 2024. And it was Scotland. And I was like, yes. Except I'm not in 2024 because 2024 is actually going to be a very busy year for us and a very expensive year. Because Kyle's best friend is getting married and it's in Chicago. And so it's lots of money.
Yeah.
My cousin's also getting married. I'm going to 2 concerts next year. And we're taking a vacation. And my daughter is turning 1.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things happening. Which also, I already have her first birthday party theme planned. I'm that extra. But then I saw this other person do, I loved it. It was a first party. And it was eras themed. And it was the cutest thing. And I showed it to Kyle. And I was like, if I didn't have her theme already picked out. And he's like, at what point is the birthday party for the kid, though, instead of the parent? And I was like, the first birthday is not about the kid. It never is. It is about the parents 100%.
The first, until they're at school, and they have friends to invite, like actual friends to invite, it's not about the child. Controversial, but it's not. Like,
no. And until they are conscious enough to even say what theme birthday party they want, it's not about the kid.
No, genuinely, yeah. Like, the first birthday I remember was like, I think I was like, it was before my brother was born, so I was probably about 6, I would say. And I was like, first birthday I can remember, so clearly anything before that point could have been absolutely anything. Did not matter. And I specifically wanted a fairy castle cake. My mum knew someone at work, and she made the cake, and it is still to this day the best thing absolutely ever. I think I have a photo somewhere. It is like the most incredible cake ever, and like at one point, if I ever do have a child, I would want that cake to be recreated for them for a birthday. And I was like, I want that, and I want a clown, and that was fucking it. That's all I wanted. So we just had a hall, and we had this cake, and we had a clown. I think we had a bouncy castle, and then it was all just like random kid shit. And the best thing about that was I was so excited to just give people their party bags. Party bags are like the best thing about a birthday party. No kid cares about anything else but the party bag. Every time I'd be leaving a party, I'm like, I want my bloody party bag. Give me my party. With my stupid little rubbers in, a little whistle, whatever it is. Give me it. It's important to me. So whatever theme, it was even better. Yes.
Yeah, I love when your kids are little and you can do a good pun.
Oh.
Like, one of the themes that I thought about but didn't go with was Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I've seen 3 Rex for like a 3-year-old's birthday party.
That's so cute.
Like, that's the kind of stuff that I'm gonna do. Is like themed ones.
I think theme parties are cute because it just helps as well. Like, without them being a bit like too generic. But we always did themes for our birthdays until we got to like I don't know 10 or 11, I guess. But
I would get like a themed cake, but like the whole party was never themed.
Like our cake would be themed, and then like our party bags would be like themed. I guess like for example, like my castle one, they were like I don't know princess bags, and then like and whatnot. Like that was the theme, not necessarily like all decked out, but like a loose theme. And now I just have it on the caterpillar.
Which slap, by the way.
Which slaps. It is.
I can now say that.
Literally, I'm like, the bestest cake ever. No, nothing will ever compare.
See, I also didn't get a first birthday party. So.
Why? Oh no, there's T to be spelled.
Oh, there is. Fun fact. My father was raised as a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh.
And if you don't know, Jehovah's Witness do not celebrate holidays because they do not believe in putting anything before God. So they do not celebrate Christmas, they do not celebrate birthdays, like any holiday. They do not celebrate. And even though he was no longer a Jehovah's Witness, when he was with my mom, he had been raised so long in that religion that he refused to let my mom have a first birthday party for me, and she actually had to fight him to even have a second birthday party for me. And also, to make this even worse, even though I would not have remembered my first birthday, it was my golden birthday.
Oh, no.
So.
That's so sad.
I am forever salty about it.
I'd be salty about that too, to be fair.
And I will be living vicariously through my child. I don't care.
Yeah. I still haven't hit my golden birthday. I've still got like 2 years left.
Kyle's was during COVID.
Oh, that sucks. But the thing, I'm not going to do anything special for my golden birthday, but it will be the first time I enter the lottery.
Fun.
And probably the only time I enter the lottery. But like, in my head, that I'm like, the luckiest day is that day. So if it's going to happen, it'll happen then.
I will make it a big deal for my kid. And like, it will be like a golden theme. Like everything.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah. I feel like it's like hard because like, obviously now I'm like, oh, well, like birthdays are not like they are still a big deal, but like they're not as big a deal as obviously when you're a kid. I feel like the prime golden birthday age, like day would be like anywhere between like 7 and, well, ideally anywhere between 7 and 18 is like a good time.
I would say 21's a good one.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, 21's a good one.
And I say that because my brother-in-law's was.
Yeah, 21's good. Yeah, so like anywhere like 7 to 18 and then like 21. Or 25, I guess, because that's like another, like, the last milestone birthday before, like, the decades
unless
hit.
It's COVID, because that was Kyle's.
Yeah, unless it's COVID.
But, yeah. My birthday will no longer matter, unfortunately, because my daughter was born 6 days after my birthday, so, like, every year I'm just going to be like...
Well, it'll matter to me.
Thank you.
It's like what happens, like, if you have a kid, like, if your kid's birthday's, like, near Christmas, and then they constantly get, like, birthday and Christmas as one, and I'm like, that's really sad.
I've seen people do birthday trees for that reason. It's like they have the Christmas tree and then they have the birthday tree. I would do something like that.
And they have like Christmas dinner and like a birthday dinner. I'm like, see, that is the right way to do it. Is to do that. I like that as well. But yeah, I'm like, damn, it's crazy time out here.
Yeah.
Well, this was really not a chat about 2024.
We started out strong, like the year 2024 will.
Yeah. Maybe we should split this up into 12 sections, and then each of the sections will tell us what the month will hold.
That'd be so much work, but that'd be fun. We're not going to do that, though.
I'm not going to do that, no. I don't have time. I don't have time for that, but I can pretend that I do.
Yeah. Just take however long this episode is. Divide it by 12. And then as you listen.
Yeah. It's your fortune being told to you.
Yes.
Yeah. You're welcome. I did one of those TikTok filters and it told me I would die in January, so here's starting the year off with a fucking bang.
You're making it to your birthday.
No, I know. I was like, oh, I'll just do it because it'll be funny, right? Because I'm just like, it's stupid. And then I was like, oh, because like people were getting crazy ones, and then mine's just a skull in January, and I was like, brilliant.
I guess this is the last episode we're ever going to put out then.
Yeah, maybe. Depends when in January. It could be January 1st, it could be the 1st. Like, you know, keeping myself on my toes. So we'll find out. Information pending. Yeah. So sorry to break it to you guys.
The end of Percy Jackson.
Oh, that's even worse. Grim's done me dirty there. The ultimate cliffhanger. Oh, imagine that. Imagine dying. That actually might be the worst time to die, is like before the end of like a season of a show. That's actually tragic. So many people have unfortunately met that demise, and that actually makes me so sad for them.
Yeah, that's real depressing. All right, moving on.
Well, if that ever happens to me, please, at my funeral, tell me the synopsis of the last episode.
I'll hold a seance, and I will summon you.
Like, play the episode at my funeral. And I can, just putting that out there. Anyone.
I will fly to England and be like, hi, I've never met you, but I was really good friends with your kid, and I have to play this at their funeral.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
I know your mom's name, at least. And I know your address, so I can get to your house.
The scariest thing. I know your address.
Just shipped you a Christmas present.
What? What do you mean? That was a pigeon. It was a carrier pigeon, remember?
That'd be a really heavy box for a carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon's swell, mate. He's got those arms that you need.
Yeah.
He was listing it.
2024, I'm going to spend the carrier pigeon workout.
Yeah. Wow.
Alright,
Anyways.
well, this has been fun. Share with us any goals, resolutions, or vibes you have for the year of 2024.
Yeah. And hopefully your 2023 was good. And if it was not good, hey, there's always next year. That's what everyone says. Finger guns. Do-do-do-do-do. And
pew 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 pew.
I'm losing my mind. I'm actually losing my mind.
Same.
Why does the holiday season make me like? I feel like I'm fried egg.
It's because the time between Christmas and New Year's is not real. Nothing is real. Nothing exists.
No.
So.
No. I got up for work today and I was like, what am I doing?
I'm off all this week, so.
I'm working and I'm just here like existing as an entity.
That was me last week.
Yeah.
Before, leading up.
We move. It's fine.
Yeah. Alright, well, that's it. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Love you. Bye. Mwah.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. To stay connected with us, then follow us on social media, which are linked in the description. I've been Emily.
And I've been Scar.
Tune in next time for the best cottagecore podcast for the cottage whores.